Yo, what's up? I'm SlimWav. Just for clarity, I am a music producer, songwriter, artist, and traveling musician. And I'm here with my friend.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just for Clarity. My name is Kayla. I'm with SlimWav, my very, very good friend. And we're going to go through all this today, and I want y'all to stick with me. We're going to have a good time. All right, so tell us where you from, what you do, what you love.
Okay, so I'm from Augusta, Georgia, which, hometown. I love music. I am everything music. So I produce, write, sing, all of the things, score, all of that. I'm from Augusta, Georgia, like I said, and I moved out to Atlanta in 2008 to pursue music and see where it can bring me. And this is where it brought me.
So far. A very long way. Let me tell y'all just a really, really short story. So we go so far back.
Way back.
That it was Kingdom Kids / Temple Team. So those who are watching this YouTube video, who are from New Life Church of God in Christ down there in
NLC.
Then y'all know what we talking about. We go way back. All right, so let's go ahead and get these questions kicked out. So, what was your favorite project so far that you've worked on?
My favorite project so far, it hasn't even come out yet.
Hasn't even come out yet? Okay.
My favorite project to work on is this Diddy album that's about to come out. I'm not sure when it's coming out because we've been working on it for like a year, almost 2 years now. Mm-hmm. But hopefully it comes out this year, and that'll definitely be my favorite project because all of the money he spent making the project, like right. Trips and stuff. We took trips so many places.
Is that just for like creative, to get the creative juices flowing?
Literally, because a lot of times when you're in a place where people can have other things to do, you're not as focused. You know what I mean? So he flew us to different places, and he's like, "Yo, let's just lock in on this project," and that's it. We had nothing else to do but that. So that's probably gonna be my favorite project when it drops.
So what vibe are we expecting from that?
It's a collaborative album with a lot of like your favorite artists, and it's just R&B, like real R&B, back to the roots of R&B, innovative R&B. I think it still has some elements of like his old sound, but it's just R&B, good R&B.
So you mean like Faith Evans' old sound, or like?
Nah, it's a little more modern, but it has some elements of like the Mary, and the Josie. You'll hear elements of it, but it's definitely just true to R&B.
Okay. Yeah, my mama love Mary J. Don't.
See.
You get my mama get to, I love me some Mary J. Y'all, don't you get me started. She went to a concert and she was like, she stood up the whole time and her ankles and her feet was swollen when she got back. I was like, that's how you know you went to a real concert.
She know I got a song with Mary J?
She does, but every time I mention you, she know your dad, but she cannot, for some reason, she cannot picture your face.
I gotta just pull up on her.
she just like, oh, I remember Brother Monroe. He was real smooth. I was like, oh yeah, that's Brother Monroe all day, every day. He probably was like, why do you still call me Brother Monroe? Look, it's embedded in me now. That's just
right.
That's just how it is now. So what is currently your favorite song? Is it something that you produced or is it something that somebody else produced?
Jeez. Man, my favorite song, it changed every day. Yeah. I don't know about you, like when I listen to music and I hear a song, I'll binge that song for 3 weeks straight.
Yes.
So right now, I know it's weird, but one of my favorite songs is it SOS by SZA?
Okay.
It's not. It might not be SOS. It might be Snooze.
Okay.
Snooze by SZA, because it's like an old school sounding record, and I love how vintage and cool it sounds. So that's one of my favorite records right now.
Here's something that's really, really weird that I actually just came out of a binge.
Really?
Yes, it's the song. Okay, so Prince of Egypt.
Oh, the soundtrack?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh my
gosh. That's a throwback.
When I say I would wake up to it, be brushing my teeth to it, working during the day to it, going to sleep to it, just like skipping down the hall to was hitting.
That's a major throwback. That was a really good soundtrack though.
Yes, the movie itself was dope. Yeah, and then just listening to it, it just it catch you in the zone. You like, dang, man, this
they put some
crazy.
time into it.
They did. They really, really did. So what is a good soundtrack other than Prince of Youth? Because I already said that one, so you can't say that one. What was another good soundtrack that you can like immediately identify that you love?
My favorite soundtrack of all times is probably the soundtrack they did for the first Black Panther with Kendrick.
Yeah.
SZA and all of them. That's probably one of my favorite soundtracks. Like that whole project, I would listen to that project religiously, back to forth. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one of my favorites. You know, of all time.
Hands
down.
So since we're talking about like the way projects come about, like tell me about your first big project. Like when you first landed that first either like production or that first live sound. Like tell me about that very, very first big one. You're like, whoa.
Man, it's weird because it's hard to identify whatever the first big one is. You know what I mean? Opposed to like a bunch of them. Because it's like, I don't know. I don't even consider the first one I did like super big. Our first show was with this artist by the name of Kevin Ross. And we did like a jazz fest in like Arizona or something like that. But it wasn't really big, you know what I mean? It was just like a couple hundred people out there. But then after that, I think my next biggest one was probably working with this artist named Rory. Me and my band were playing for him back in like 2000.
The Band of Brothers. We gotta get to that because I love y'all. I love the Band of Brothers.
Oh yeah, so we was doing this show with Rory, and it was like maybe like 20 to 50,000 people.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, no, it was a whole lot of people. There's more people than I've ever played for, and I think that was when I was like, yeah, we finally doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and it was overseas too. It was like in France or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like one of the moments where I was like, this is it. We headed in the right direction.
Okay. So when you did your first production, like when you produced your first track, how did that feel?
Well, I've been producing since I was a kid, unknowingly that I was producing. I was thought I was just making music. But getting like my first official placement was really dope because it was with an artist that I really love, and I didn't think it would come about it. You know, I thought it was like, I'm gonna send you some beats, whatever happens, because people, you know, they always be like, oh, we're gonna do something, and then it never happens. So it's like a bunch of broken promises. But when it actually landed, I was like, yo, this is fire, and now people are gonna respect me as a producer in the future. You know what I mean? So that was a really great feeling. It was a really good feeling to, you know, to see that happening and unfolding.
Yeah. So once you landed that and you had that moment, right? So can you think back to a time where you had to settle on the no? Because sometimes it don't always work out. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, people aren't hip to the sound that you're trying to make, or y'all not on the same wavelength or whatever. Yeah. So tell me about what it feels like, or what's that journey after you've gotten a no?
The journey after the no, at first like it bothered me, and then I realized that a lot of times the no is not because it's not good. The no most of the times just means setting. You know what I mean? I heard this guy the other day say he made like this metaphor or like example of a Coca-Cola. It's like a Coca-Cola in the store is $2.50. A Coca-Cola in the vending machine is $3. A Coca-Cola on the side of the road is 50 cents. Yeah. It says nothing changed about the Coca-Cola. It's just the setting that you put it in. Right. You know what I mean? So that's why I've kind of been adopted. Like when it comes to like when people tell me no about something, I'm like, okay, this may not have been the right place or time for it. So and it can or it can go somewhere else. Because there's been plenty of times, for instance, in records, like you'll hear a song was made for Whitney Houston, but then it actually goes on, you know, Jennifer Hudson, and it does even bigger. Right. So it's just a place and setting for it, and I don't necessarily take any no's. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's a cool way to kind of like redirect my thinking when it comes to things. That way I won't be discouraged or whatever.
Yeah. So being that you've worked with a lot of like what we would consider huge artists, right, who have like decades in the industry, what would be your biggest advice for someone who is looking to get into the industry and doesn't know how to like fully go about doing it?
Biggest advice I would give them is surround yourself with people that are equally obsessed or equally as passionate about going where you're trying to go. Because a lot of times, if you link up with the wrong people or people that just aren't as passionate and just do it, like sometimes it'll hold you back. You know what I mean? Opposed to getting in the car with people that are insanely obsessed about going here. That means they're gonna like, we don't gotta take no pit stops. Like, let's take turns. Like, I get out the car, you drive. We switch off. Opposed to people that's like, let's just stop. I don't feel like driving anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just linking up and your relationships, because this is a relationship business. Like, so relationships are the most important part of all of it. If you don't have them, then you don't have anything. So that's my biggest takeaway, and something I wish I would have like really honed in on early in my career.
So I got my degree from Alabama State University in communication.
Fire! Congratulations.
Thank you. That was way back then. So but I have like a specialty in music industry. Mm-hmm. So my professor, William Ashburn, he worked with he was the manager for 2 Live Crew. He worked with Ludacris.
That's fire.
Was it Future went to
2
Alabama
Live
State
to run the streets.
Yeah. So he was used to that. So the one thing that he taught me as a female, because there was only 3 females in our entire like music industry class. Mm-hmm. And the first thing he taught me was when you're coming in as a new person, right? Mm-hmm. So there's nothing wrong with being a friend, but being a fan, but never be a groupie. Yeah. And that's the first thing that I learned, right? So when it was time for me to do my internships for my degree, for me to graduate or whatever it is over the summer, there was a particular artist that I was working with at the time, and it was so dope to see him like be in the moment in that creative process, right? And then I had to get used to going to strip clubs because that's where deals get done. And as a female, that can be hard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, it's not like you're straddling the fence between I want to be who I am. Yeah.
But you don't want to lose the opportunity, right? Because you don't want them to think you're not cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I've had, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to no longer pursue music. Mm-hmm. That opportunity presented itself, and I was like, okay, if I have to go about doing it that way, then I'm not interested. What advice would you give the women or the young ladies who's interested in pursuing music full time, or even being a musician full time in the industry? What advice would you give them?
So that's a hard topic, because I hear a lot of people deal with that in the industry these days, especially with women in the industry. Unfortunately, there's like a lot of more weird dudes than there are people that are just like good people, you know what I mean, and view everybody as just like you're a human that wants to do your passion or your love for music. Right. So if I had to give some advice, and honestly, it's like I feel like women have so much more power than they know in this industry and in every industry. I always say it all the time, like, yes, the Beyonce song, Women Run the World, it's a song, however, but it's really true. Yeah. Like, nothing moves. No, literally, nothing moves without women. You know what I mean? For instance, women are the highest patronizing people on the earth, not to mention Black women. Yes. Everybody profits off of Black women, you know what I mean? Regardless if it's, through the beauty world or, whatever. Fashion, like it's all inspired.
Now it's getting to the body.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's all inspired by Black women, you know what I mean? So with that being said, it's kind of like, it's hard for me to give advice because I can give advice, but there's still weird people out there. So my advice may not even.
So how would you say for them to react to those like moments where it's like, bro, you're being weird?
I feel like there's a sneaky way to do it. If you treat everybody like your homeboy, a lot of times eventually they'll get the point. Like, yeah. Because I've had like homegirls that were in the music industry, and I see how they move around weird guys, you know what I mean? And most of the time they're like, no, that's my homie, like that's my like.
You say that? Nah, that's my homie. He like my brother, yo. Ain't no I would never do no stuff like right. That's how we be, right?
Facts. But the moment you give in or you subscribe to the ideology of like, if I don't do this, if I don't sleep with them, or if I don't, do this or be their pet, you know what I mean, then they're not gonna give me the opportunity, because everybody's not like that.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, go where people treat you.
Yeah.
Go where people appreciate you, and that would be my opportunity, because obviously whatever God has for you is for you.
Absolutely.
No man can take that from you. It's literally set up for you, and all you got to do is walk towards it. So knowing that, keeping that in mind, you move a little different when like, yo, regardless if it's with you or not, I'm gonna be successful. You know what I mean? So just taking that power and just owning it.
Yeah. I walked away. Just clean was like,
no, it's stressful.
Nah, my bro. Because I mean, going to the strip club, like when I first started to go, it was kind of like a shock, because you like, wow, we in here signing contracts and shouting in here shaking that thing for some dollars. Right. Like, I'm not sure how to take this, but like once you start going consistently, you like, oh, well,
this normal.
Let me get a chicken plate.
Right.
Yeah, let me get the chicken plate. Like, and then
you become numb to
nothing.
it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then like you in the studio, and then like I used to go to the one that was right in town. It's one in downtown. Like, if you ride past it, you would think it was a dump. You would think it was a dump. That's the one I used to go to in Atlanta.
It's a bunch of
and I mean, it's almost like homeless people stayed on the side, and then it's just this big gate, and then once you get past the gate, all you see is like Ferrari, like high-end cars and stuff. I was like, wow, I would have walked right past here if I went in the car. And then we would go to their house, and they have the home studios and stuff, and I think it was at that point I was like, why is it just me and you? Like, it should be like other people here. So
I get weird.
I think after that moment, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I need to just be something else right now. So that may be what it is for women. Any warnings that you may give for like just people in general about the industry, because people think that the industry is so big, but the industry circle is very, very small, and people. It's a lot of things that you have to watch out for and look out for, but if you're new, you don't necessarily know. What would be those things that you would say?
I would say just having discernment of people, because everybody's not a good person, you know what I mean? So having a great discernment of what type of people are, who they are, then that'll help you maneuver in a lot. That's helped me move in a lot of rooms. Like, I've never really had any weird situations where like people just did me dirty, you know what I mean? Because I'm a nice person. I show love, and if I feel like it's not being reciprocated, or I feel like I may not be wanted in a specific place, I'm like, no matter how big this place looks, or no matter how much of an opportunity I feel like I can receive from this place, I just move. I just keep it pushing. Like I said, if you know the end goal, nobody can stop that. So no matter what move you make, it's gonna be the right step in the direction that you need to go. So just people, you know what I mean? Watch out for people. You know what type of people are good people. You know what type of people are bad people. So yeah.
So as a new artist, right, or as a new producer, or someone who mixes and master or engineer, like when you're coming into this as a new person into the industry, right, and you get the opportunity. Right. Like, the door has been open, you're sitting in, and you in the room. Like, to be expecting something, do I need to ask? How do I go about determining if I'm going to get paid on a project, or if I'm just here to soak it in and then get my credit elsewhere or in another way?
A lot of times, people do it all the time. Like, we'll be in sessions, and while we're making a beat, it's like, yeah, let's do splits now. I'm like, people still be so eager to do splits sometimes when the song may not even come out.
Right.
But it's good to have them. But most of the sessions I've ever done, I don't talk about money. I don't talk about nothing, because I don't want people. I love what I do. Obviously, it's a business move. You're supposed to be on top of that. But when I come in, I'm like, yo, let's make the music first. We can talk about the business later. You know what I mean? And if I feel like they're good people, if I feel like they're not good people, then I just honestly won't even work with them. because I'm not gonna fight you later on. For
right, we're not going there.
Like for something that's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to have the business, but a lot of times being affiliated or associated with certain people will rid you of having to do the upfront business of like, people like already respect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
right.
they'll know they can't even come to you on no wild stuff because they already like, yo, this is such and such people, so
right.
I'm going.
I wouldn't even dare do this.
Yeah. So
you gotta put yourself out there like that. Don't play me.
That goes back.
Me,
yeah, that just goes back to being surrounded by the right people.
Right. All right, come on. All right. We're gonna play a game.
All right.
We are going to play a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Question Roulette with Kayla. Now, back to you, me.
I don't gotta eat a tarantula or nothing like that.
No. Maybe not. All right. No,
Maybe
but
not.
we're going to play Questions Roulette. So I will allow you to pick your own questions. I'm going to show you here.
Okay.
So you're going to have you pick 5 questions, and then you answer those questions. Go ahead. Just pick 5.
One. I'm gonna pick from the bottom now. 2. I'm gonna pick from the middle. 3. 4, 5.
Okay, right.
We got 2 of
All
them.
right. I shall read them to you, and then we're going to go. Tell me about a time you had bad food.
Ethiopia. I lived in Ethiopia for 3 months at one point in time.
Wow.
They took us to this traditional food spot called the Habasha or something like that. And Ethiopia, they have this native food called injera.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's like a spongy bread. So my first time trying it, it's like they put the spongy bread on the side, and you got your vegetables and your beef and your chicken, and you're supposed to take the bread and just scoop it up and eat it.
So like fufu.
Yes, basically fufu. But the spongy bread, they didn't tell me. It tastes like bread that has been dipped in vinegar for 5 days, and it's just soggy and it's just very potent. So I tried it in front of like all of the people, you know, very important people in front of me, people like that are really high up in Ethiopia. I take it and I put it in my mouth, and as soon as I put it in my mouth, I gag so hard. Everybody was looking at me like, oh my God. That was like, I'm talking like a 3-year-old gag.
No.
Like I'm an adult at this time, gagging hard at the table. And they looking at me like, yo, that's disrespectful.
Well, what are you supposed to do?
But nobody told me, so I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. My eyes is watery because I gagged so hard. They like, yo, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't, you know, I'm not used to this.
Know.
I didn't know this tastes like this. He's like,
Bruh.
Right, no, for real. And then they was like, yo, you can just eat it with regular bread. It's fine. I was like, oh, thank you.
Y'all
man.
could have just told me that the first time. Why didn't y'all present like both pieces of bread and let me
Listen,
just...
that was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Wow.
It was
So
terrible.
was that one of those moments where you just like fold the plate down?
No, for sure.
And then just...
Yeah, throw the whole plate away. Throw the trash
Did you finish
away.
eating anything after that, or you
No,
like,
I didn't.
bro, I'm done?
I ate like some corn. It was cute. You know what I mean? I ate some corn so they won't think I hated everything.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I'm just not hungry. I'm gonna just eat later.
Yeah, wow, that just really filled me up. That bread just everything.
Terrible.
Ooh. I actually just put this on my my Instagram story, y'all.
I saw you with the cars. And I didn't know what you had going on. I was like, what the red cars?
Wow. Okay.
I picked some good ones.
Yeah, you picked some good ones. You fart in a room full of people.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? And they know it was you. They know it was you. Like, it wasn't no
Oh, I'm a comedian.
just...
I'm gonna make a beat out of it.
No? What?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, how does it go?
And hopefully I'll have another one so I
Like,
can follow up.
Y'all get that?
Nah, I'm a comedian.
That was fire, right?
I'm gonna say something stupid. Absolutely, 100% of the time. Right. Nah, I did it. Listen, it's natural.
So now they know you did it. It's only when they know that you did it, it's like,
Right.
dang, bro, I probably shouldn't eat this.
Right. Facts.
Y'all mess with me, right? We friends, right?
We still boys.
I probably could have walked out, but I'm so gun ho on making sure that we get this.
It's love. That's love. If I fight around you, that's love.
In the room.
It's in the room. What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
Sadly, I get on Instagram.
What?
Nah. Sometimes I don't even be saying that. I just be like,
no.
who called me today? It's actually terrible, but I've been trying to cut back on it. I've been trying to wake up and do all the necessary things you're supposed to do when you wake up, like pray and drink water.
You're supposed to take at least 4 or 5 solid, strong gulps of water.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. And then you pick up your phone and go into
I'm getting better.
Instagram.
I'm getting better.
Steps at a time.
Baby
no
steps.
condemnation.
Baby steps. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No disrespect.
You're a real one.
If your life were a movie, what song would definitely be in your movie?
If my life were a movie, what song would be in my movie?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a song about Burt Bacharach, or whatever his name is, called Something Big. It's a really dope song. It's just like a motivated song about wanting something bigger.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they would definitely be, people would be like, why would you pick that song? Because it's actually like an old sounding song.
Yeah.
I just like the message. I like the way it feels.
Yeah. If it feels good, it might be good. Well, not all the time, but most times if you feel good, then it's pretty good.
It's dope. It's a dope song.
If you could marry any fictional character, who would it be and why?
It would be the girl from Goof Troop movie.
Okay, yeah.
Is her name Roxy?
Yeah, I think it's Roxy.
With the mole and the... I just always thought she was fine.
As the dog.
Yes.
You know what? I'm not going to judge you because I know y'all just watched my other video that I put up about Millie Otis and the 7 Deadly Sins being Zaddy. Millie Otis from the 7 Deadly Sins. It's an anime.
Oh, I ain't tapped into the anime world yet. Only one I have watched is One Punch Man.
I love One Punch Man. You know they're coming out with the last season is coming out.
Yeah, I got tapped in.
Now you have to watch it all the way over.
My brother been trying to get me on it.
It's good. It's really, really good. That and 7 Deadly Sins is Zaddy. Millie Otis is Zaddy. He cares about me and I listen to him every day to say something.
On the TV.
And I rewind it and I keep it for when I'm feeling down.
That's love.
So that's how I know it's real.
That's love.
That's the only way. So I have my very, very last question for you,
Okay.
right? And in all honesty, just give me 100% the truth. Why is your dad so smooth? I'm trying to understand. Like he dressed you. You see that man in the suit?
Yo, sometimes it's annoying how smooth he is. Cause I can't go nowhere without him knowing somebody or
that man shot.
To bring you back to the Ethiopia thing, my band, we were out there playing at a club for just like 3 or 4 nights a week. And I'm in their club. This is Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that.
Yes.
This is Ethiopia. Like Africa, East Africa. I'm in there. This random black dude comes up to me. He's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "All right, guy. I hope I ain't finna die out here in Ethiopia. Like, I hope ain't nobody got no hit out for me or nothing." I was like, "Slim." He was like, "What is your dad name? What's your parents' name?" And I was like, I'm a junior. I'm a Jerome Junior. He was like, "I knew it. I knew your daddy. I used to work with him back."
You your daddy's son.
I'm like,
oh, he look like.
Listen, I cannot go nowhere without this man knowing somebody or mingling and mixing with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm starting to pick that trait up too, because I'm starting to realize I know so many doggone people.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just the smoothest person ever. Like.
But he was a musician and stuff too,
yeah,
right? Like
yep.
he
Jazz
passed that
musician.
down to you. So I watched your interview with BeatStars, and that was a super dope interview. If y'all haven't seen it, please go and check it out. Like it's super, super dope.
Shout
a
out
lot
to
of
my girl,
great
Erin.
gems was dropped in that interview. It was so awesome. So can you tell us again about how your dad acquired his first instrument?
My dad acquired first instruments because he used to do work on people's houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he was doing work on this lady's house, and she had just divorced her husband. And she was giving all his stuff away. And I think she might charge my dad $25. I can't remember, but she was like, "Yeah, you can take it." And it was a guitar, a bass, keyboard, some other stuff.
Whole set.
A whole setup. And he just brought it home, and it's just, it was just there.
Yeah.
And he was like, whatever. He didn't force me to play music, but I just naturally gravitated to it because my dad was he's my superhero.
Yeah.
So I automatically just I want to play drums, you know what I mean? And then after playing drums, I was like, oh, I want to play this too. I want to play that too.
Yeah.
And I see how they all kind of work together. And,
just naturally gifted, okay? Just play everything.
It's a gift. It's definitely a gift. So that's how it kind of came about. You know what I mean? I just started picking things up one by one. I still have a couple of those instruments now.
Yeah.
At least the guitar.
Yeah. It's so dope just to see I know y'all don't know how far he's come. He's come a very long way.
Day one.
The journey.
Day one.
Just to see from being these kids in Augusta, right? Figuring out where we going, what we doing, and how we doing, all the way up to now producing and working with Diddy, doing your own stuff that's gonna be coming out soon, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And then a lot of you guys know the Banner Brothers. I freaking love the Banner Brothers. It's
we appreciate you.
Awesome. I follow all of them on Facebook. I'm like, yo, when y'all have anything else in Atlanta, please.
I'm gonna let you know. I didn't know you were here for so long.
Yes.
Now that I know,
I have to be there. I have to be a part because I always just watch y'all from afar. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is so wild. And I was just telling my mom the other day that when you know people and they're doing great, you don't want them to see you as like I told you, my teacher said, you can be a fan, but you're not gonna be a groupie.
Yeah.
And I've been around a lot of celebrities and a lot of people who are really, really big in the industry, and I appreciate from afar. And I always just take the opportunity to be like, I'm so grateful that I know this person. I'm so grateful that this person know me, and it's such an honor just to be in the presence of greatness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just you are such a big influence on us, on the culture.
Facts.
And
Still.
I'm glad I know y'all. You know what I'm saying? And when I do reach out, I was like, you know what? If I reach out to Jay, I don't want him to be like, yeah, now I made it big. I'm doing this, and that. And now people want to hit me up. I was like, nah, I'll just be,
Yeah.
I'm still just me. I hope you still just you, because most people, when they get to that certain level, you have to be careful because you don't know if people are trying to use you or not. So that's understandable. So all I can do is try to shoot my shot.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Say what's up. Do you remember me?
Right. That's literally all you can do.
But I really appreciate you, man. I know you're
Absolutely.
busy, just giving us a small bit of your time, and we really appreciate having you here.
Absolutely.
Y'all, this has been ITV Creations LLC. This is Kayla.
SlimWav.
And now we out. Now, just for clarity, you know who he is.